This is episode 64.
I am so happy that you're here and thank you for joining my show, your coach, Helen Yuskovic. I am on a worldwide mission to help people get confident in putting themselves first because I used to put myself second my whole life. And because of that, I experienced every unhealthy relationship possible. An unhealthy relationship with myself, my health, my wealth, my intimate relationships, my family, my friends, and my career. I'm now living in an abundance that I used to just dream about. So I want to pave the way for you too. It's time, guys. It's time that you live in the life of your dreams as well. So let's take a step towards that right now. P.S. Subscribe to my podcast on your app now so that you always tune in to my new episodes. Hi guys, today is a special episode where I get to kick back and answer the questions from the two beautiful girls hosting the Rise With Rhe and Ash podcast show. And today's episode is really cool. It was a really nice, soulful chat about the different paths that we take and the lessons that we learn from all of those different paths. And in this episode, we discuss finding your why, staying consistent with your health, and why accountability is so important. It's such a cool episode. I hope you find it super inspiring. So turn it up and enjoy the show.
Welcome to episode 8 of Rise with Rhe and Ash. Today, we're very excited to bring to you a special guest, and we'll be chatting all things about staying consistent with your health and fitness and how you can evolve in that.
Helen is a nature lover and holistic healer with many tools in her tool belt who has never shied away from a challenge or a new opportunity, and today is going to share all of her wisdom and learnings along the way. We are so excited to have you here today, Helen, and listen to your story. So please take the floor and share a little bit about yourself, your story, and what led you to where you are today.
Thank you. What a beautiful intro. I'm so honored to be on your show. So thank you for that, firstly. And a little bit about myself. My life, I think the best way to describe it is a roller coaster, and it's sort of heading towards the rainbow. So that's the best way I can explain my life. So I've done many different careers in my lifetime. Things like cleaning, real estate, acting, DJing, MCing, working just casual jobs that meant nothing, like in a car park, in a car dealership. And then eventually I ended up in health and wellness after sustaining a few injuries and not prioritizing my health really. I forgot to tell you that I used to do beauty therapy, and this is when my first injuries sustained, which was my back injury, my wrist injury, and all sorts of injuries that you just don't expect to happen when you're in your early 20s. And so that's when I started my health journey in 2011. It was my best year and my worst year because I finally landed the role that I wanted as an actress. I finally got 2 roles on TV shows. I finally got a short film that was circulating in Hollywood that we got to tour. And I was like, yes, I'm finally reaching my dreams. And then I wasn't fulfilled, and I was in pain a lot. And so I'm pretty spiritual. And I realized that there was some sort of an imbalance with my life. And I just started soul searching. And the first practice I actually did, apart from meditation, was Bikram yoga. And this is just a yoga that's done in a hot room because I had to do research so that I don't have surgery, which is what the doctors were saying. And I found this thing called Bikram yoga, and it had healed people and helped people walk again. And I was like, okay, if people are paralyzed and can do this, I can do this because I'm walking. I'm just in a lot of pain. And so that's how it started evolving. I had a few more toxic relationships during that time, a few more toxic friendships and toxic jobs. And then eventually, 4 years ago in 2016, I became a personal trainer. I reignited my passion with massage and holistic Ayurvedic treatments from my beauty days. And then I also took it one step further to help heal people on their healing journey as well, with NLP coaching and life coaching. And so that's a little bit about my career. I just have this mission to help millions of people around the world to learn how to put themselves first, because I feel like that was the missing link for me. Never put myself first.
So throughout that process, as you said, you did have a few careers along your journey so far. What was the trigger point where you decided that like change needed to happen?
Because I was just in pain, and not just physical pain, emotional pain. My relationships weren't healthy with men. And I was like, it's me. You know, you can point the finger at them all you like, but if you keep sustaining the same relationships and maintaining the same friendships that are toxic, you've got to start looking inwards. And so that was the clincher for me, because I thought, I can't keep doing this for the rest of my life. I need to be happy. And I had friendships that just kept falling on the wayside. And I thought, no, soul sister friendships should be beautiful and easy, as should a relationship. And then with work, I thought I shouldn't be feeling empty doing my dream career. Like, I was touring Australia as an MC, like one of the only female MCs in the country. And I just wasn't happy. So yeah, Rhe, it was just the realization that I'm not feeling fulfilled and I wanted more.
Yeah. I think a lot of people will be able to relate to that. So yeah, really insightful.
Yeah, trying to find what it is that makes you happy, that gives you that feeling. You know, when I coach people and I ask the very first question, what is it that you want? How can I serve you best? Everyone says, I want to be happy. And you can't measure happiness. So you need a metric, which is why coaches are great, because we can show you the road as to figure out what it is that's going to make you happy. How will you know when you're happy? What will you see, and what will you hear, and what will you have? And that's, I think, the part where people get lost in.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. So in your journey to becoming a coach, what was maybe one step in that the audience could take on themselves? Because just to elaborate on that, I think that it's easy to look at you and go, oh yeah, she's been through a lot, but then the in-between from where you were and where you are now, that's where it gets a little bit grey.
Learning to put yourself first and really getting honest with yourself and ditching the excuses and connecting yourself to the why. Why do you actually want this? And if that why is powerful enough, it will ignite the change. If the why isn't powerful enough, you're going to keep saying the same stories in your head and keep replaying all of those limiting beliefs and limiting decisions, and you will stay stagnant. And this is, a common place where I find people get stuck, because sometimes they don't actually have a clear vision of the why. Sometimes they don't even know how to get there. And it can take a little bit of work, but if you surround yourself with the right people, you'll always find your why.
Yeah, I like that. And I guess, highlights the importance of coaches and people like that as well.
Yeah, some people just aren't driven like that. You know, that's why we are coaches, because, people need a coach. Like, people need a house salesman to help them with a house. Some people need a cleaner in their home. Some people need a coach.
Yeah, for sure. So like you personally, how do you stay consistent with your health and fitness routine?
So let's just pre-frame this with, I used to never be consistent. I used to exercise for a month or two and then stop. I would get into another good routine for about 3 months and then I would stop and go backwards. And this is also known as yo-yoing with your exercise. And I used to yo-yo with my food. So this has been an ongoing process for me. And what changed was, Ash, I think I was telling you this. Yeah. I used to look at personal trainers and think, wow, they're always so fit and healthy. So then what I decided to do was become a personal trainer because I was like, that means I will always be fit and healthy. But let me tell you, that's not the case. So that's not the answer. You do not have to become a personal trainer because it actually, again, comes back to your why. So the thing with me is I'm a master of time management. So I make sure that I prioritize my time and I make sure that I schedule in all of the things that I want to do each week. And someone like me who is like a visionary and thinking a lot, I can't do the same thing every day. So I keep it interesting. So say on Mondays, I do a HIIT circuit with some crazy CrossFit people. And then on Tuesdays, I'll do like a reformer Pilates class. On Wednesdays, I'll do another HIIT class. On Thursdays, Bikram yoga. Tuesday and Friday mornings, I teach a yoga class, which I have to do as well. And then at the end of the week, I just chill it out with some yin yoga, some stretching, infrared sauna, recovery, and that sort of thing. So I just keep it interesting. I think that's the key, because to make it last for your life is what is the hard part for everybody. To try to make exercise just as routine as brushing your teeth. That's how important movement should be in everyone's body, and just doing what you can. Like if I only have 5 minutes, I will do 5 minutes of something. If I've got 10 minutes, I'll just go for a quick walk around the block. That takes 10 minutes. And you just feel good once you move your body. We've got muscles. They're meant to be contracted every single day, not remaining still.
Yeah. I'm a big believer in movement is the best medicine for your body, your physical health, and for your mental health and awareness as well. I'm such a huge believer in that as well.
Yeah, it just gives you so much energy, which is what everyone's sort of lacking nowadays. It brings some happiness afterwards, which is what people want. I have people canceling training sessions all the time, and I'm a stalker trainer. I'm a stalker coach. So I'll message straight away and I'll be like, I saw that you canceled right now. What's going on? I'm tired. I'm like, so am I, but you can come to training. Come to training. Tired. Come to training when you're demotivated. We'll look after you. It's all good. And then they just rebook reluctantly. And again, this is why they need a coach.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they rebook and they show up once you've said,
it just happened today. Shout out to you, Mark, if you're listening. He cancelled, and then I messaged him straight away. Can I read it to you?
Yes, please.
It's so funny because this just happened. He cancelled, and I wrote, Mark, what's going on with the cancelling? And he just replied, first week back at work, like in the office, I'm tired. And I said, come when you're tired, come when you're demotivated, just come and get re-energized. He said, I'll see how I go. And I said, I'm also tired. He said, okay, I've rebooked.
Winning combination.
We all need a Helen in our life.
No, right. And I think, Ash, you might be the same. I wanted to become the person to other people, which I wanted for myself, which I've struggled so hard to find. Lots of my PTs left me. They didn't like make me feel wanted or special or hold me accountable enough. If you can master being the person that you wanted in your life to help better your life, I think you're going to reach your purpose.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it's funny. Even in the business sector where I am, accountability is just massive. So
important. People hate it, but they love it.
Yeah, it's like that big sister who's like just making sure you get to your best.
Yep, definitely. Yeah. And people ask for accountability, and then when it comes to accountability days, they're like, damn.
They don't. Yeah. They know they show up when they have the good news, but when they haven't been so good, it's like, oh, I'm just busy tonight.
I do an accountability post with my clients. We're doing a 7-week challenge at the moment, my fitness clients. And I check in, I surprise them once a week with an accountability post on their food. And
Yeah.
yesterday I did the first one for the 7-week challenge. And one of one of my clients, she said, do you actually want me to post what I ate today or yesterday? Because it was a better day yesterday.
This is why it's a surprise.
Yeah. It's so funny. I'm like, I don't need to know the good foods. I just want to know what you're doing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's right. So on that kind of topic as well, what is one thing that you feel holds people back from taking action? And what do you believe should come first? Do you think goal setting or unpeeling the layers that have held us back from achieving those goals in the first place?
It's definitely fear.
Yeah.
What holds people back? It could be a fear of something, fear of failure, maybe, or a fear of not being liked. We have all sorts of fears in our makeup, which is okay. And it's good to have those fears. Every single time I jumped on stage, I had fear. So it's a really good sign that you feel something anyway. So don't be afraid of fear, because right on the other side of fear is courage. And that's all you need to start stepping into your power. What I do first is the why. Why do you even want this? And then we start the process of peeling the layers and slowly, slowly uncovering things so that people can see if they have any conditioned behaviors. They can see if they have any limiting beliefs, or they can see if they're holding on to any sort of negative emotions that might be holding them back and actually igniting the fear. So negative emotions like holding on to anger or holding on to sadness or a fear of some sort or hurt or any sort of guilt. So the why is so important for anything. And if people don't have that clear why, they will drop off.
Yeah.
They got to stay connected to that.
And you keep bringing them back to their why?
Yes, all the time.
Yes.
So we also have something called secondary gain. This is when the going gets tough with my clients, where sometimes holding on to the pain is easier than letting it go. And sometimes holding on to the pain is safer because they actually don't know who they will be once they let the pain go, because maybe holding on to this pain has made them feel comfortable, and it's maybe given them a reward of some sort with how they are in their daily life or with people. So once we get to that, I always bring it back to the why. Okay, so why do you actually want this? If you're not willing to let go, why do you want this? And then just bringing them back to that. It's scary.
Yeah, I love that process. That's a really good concept. You do need to understand the deeper layers rather than, because exactly the drop off rate from like until you fully succeed to where you get to, it is huge.
Oh yeah, I failed heaps of times in life. It's the best.
Yeah.
Lots of lessons.
So many. I've been broke, pretty much bankrupt twice. I've not made hundreds of auditions. I've stuffed up at shows. I've injured myself. I've failed at everything, which is what's the best thing.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people put such a heavy token on their worthiness, and if you fail, then that reduces your worthiness in some sort of way. But yeah, I really like what you're saying there, that it's the thing that will push us forward, if not anything.
Once you go behind fear, courage comes out.
Yeah,
so just
I love
keep moving. That's all you got to do. Well, Lady Gaga once said, stab fear in the face.
There's a book actually I'm waiting to arrive called Fear Is Not an Option. So have you read that?
No, it sounds great.
Yeah, so I'll let you know how it goes. But she basically talks about all of her challenges and how, taking that road of fear and kind of hiding, I suppose, from the problems is not an option. So yeah, a very insightful read, I believe.
Yeah, just be kind to yourself. It's okay. It doesn't matter how long it takes to do anything. I went back to PT school at 33.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was the unfittest one there. Failed already when I walked in. I went to the CrossFit place, these crazy people that are super fit. And the first thing we had to do was run. And I was like, I don't run. I came last and I went back to my clients. I said, so I was the worst one there, but I'm going back because I'm going to become better.
Love it.
Yeah, you have to fail.
Yeah, for sure. What advice would you give the listeners who would like to take control of their life and I guess their habits in that as well?
It's really good to actually spend some time reflecting on yourself. So taking some time out for you and just seeing how well your habits are serving you, and just seeing how your actions, how the people that you're surrounded by, how the things that you're doing are helping you to move forward. And if you feel like there's a bit of stagnation somewhere and you're not pushing forward, again, sit down and just spend some time figuring out what it is that you really want. So get really super clear on what you want and then write it down. The minute I started writing everything down is the minute everything started happening, because it's not in your head and it's not swimming around in thoughts. You can write down what it is that you want. So with a habit, for example, if you want to train more, you can write down a specific, clear goal. I want to be able to train 4 times a week. For what purpose? If you can't answer the for what purpose, you're not going to sustain it. And so the for what purpose is your why. And then you can just start getting deep in that. And then you stay motivated every day that way.
Yeah, because you have to believe in it to actually follow through, don't you? You have to believe that this is why I'm doing it. I believe that I'm going to get this outcome more.
Yeah. And then take your action steps. So I will get lucky it's COVID era because we have to book everything online now. So I schedule everything in online on my calendar, and at least everything's in there. So take your action steps once you get clear on what it is that you want to achieve, and just go get it.
Yeah. In the calendar, no excuses. The time's blocked out. Don't get distracted. Just do it.
Yeah, I lost 2 very beautiful friends of mine. One, Alice was 22 and Josie, she was 27. And so I just think they would give anything to have their life back. They would give anything to be able to exercise again or to be with their family. So stop wasting time and actually enjoy the time that you have on this earth in your temporary earth suit.
Yeah. Yes, I love that. Couldn't have put it better.
Everything's always dedicated to those 2. They changed my life completely.
Yeah. And how long ago had you lost those friends?
Alice, 2 years ago, and then Josie was 2 years before that.
Yeah. So you've had some good little drivers behind you for the past few years. Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful.
Definitely. Always feel them.
Yeah. So we're going to get into some rapid fire questions, but just on this theme, what are your self-love practices? I know you take care of yourself as well. So we'd love to hear about any, your self-love routine, any practices you implement.
I feel like I'm the self-care queen because I'm all about self-care nowadays because I never put myself first. So this is super priority for me. I actually have a self-care list that I'll give to you guys to put on your show notes for your listeners because great. I have a list that I give to my clients, and I have 22 different items on there where when I'm feeling not as energized, motivated, driven, in that peak state, I'll pick something off that list and I'll do it. So I do lots of things. I'm lucky that my wellness studio is here in my office. So I have an infrared sauna. So one of my beautiful things to do is have an infrared sauna and sweat it out and meditate in there. I also meditate. I also have baths with essential oils. One of my favorite things to do is listen to a podcast. with my delicious herbal tea. Another thing I like doing is exercising. So for my self-care, just going for, even if it's just a 5-minute walk or a little jog walk, whatever it is, a nap. I love having a nap. Calling my bestie. I love doing that. Hanging out with my mom or giving her a call and just having a chat and enjoying her. I do heaps of things. Read. My list is so long.
Yeah.
Massages as well. I get
yeah.
one massage a week, Ash. I get one.
Oh, wow. Are they a 30-minute, 60-minute? How long?
60-minute massages. And once a month, I do a traditional Ayurvedic massage called Abhyanga, which is just such a beautiful process. I love all of this stuff. I started massaging all the time. I am a masseuse because I found I just felt good all the time, because your life force, your blood runs freely and it circulates better when you have no blockages in there, knots, adhesions, scar tissue, whatever you want to call them. And so I ended up swapping. I used to smoke cigarettes. So I ended up swapping cigarettes for massages. So instead of paying for my death investment, I started paying for my health investment. So that's how I started looking at things. Actually, that's how I became financially abundant as well. I just started shifting things and doing things differently. I started doing everything for my health instead of for my death investment.
Yeah. Yeah. For the pleasure of now compared to for a lifetime.
Yep. With everything.
I love that.
Even relationships.
All right. Let's get through these rapid fire questions and see what fire you can bring. So number one, what is one thing listeners can do today to improve their health?
Meditate. Get
Love
still,
it.
get quiet. Even if you don't meditate, just close your eyes and lie still.
Yeah. And what is your go-to pick-me-up when you're feeling a bit down?
If I have someone near me, I love a hug. But if I don't have anyone near me, one of my go-to pick-me-ups to get energized would be to exercise, do some sort of movement.
Yeah, love that. And what's your favorite quote?
You will miss 100% of the shots that you won't take.
Boom.
I love that one.
All right. Let's take the home run. What have you learned from 2020?
I have learned that I'm not crazy for wanting to do so much self-care. When COVID and lockdown hit, I was so into all of my practices and rituals that I didn't even falter or get worried or have any sort of fear. And I noticed all of my clients, friends, and family starting to get consumed by fear and the media. And I thought, pat myself on the back like, wow, this is why I've been doing this for so many years. Because for times like this, where my mental state was stable, my emotional state was stable, and I maintained my physical state. Whereas I saw everybody, a lot of people going down and going down. Self-care and how important it actually is to put yourself first.
Yeah, great advice coming off of 2020 and ISO. And I don't know about you, Rhe. I think we have spoken about this before, but I definitely struggled myself. And, you know, that was definitely a realization. And self-care isn't something you can just do once a week, is it? You have to stay on top of it.
Every day, do something, anything.
Yeah.
Self-care list. I have a spare sheet behind the self-care list so you can write your own. But you've got to do something for yourself every day, even if it's just 3 breaths.
Yeah, I think that we sort of tend to think that we need to set aside 30 minutes when we might not have that. So the 5 minutes or the couple of minutes that we have, make sure that we use those.
100%. Yeah, I've loved 2020. It's been my favorite year because it's actually pushed everybody into this health kick.
Yeah.
Because they were only allowed to exercise when they got out of their house. So I never have seen so many people exercising in my area until COVID.
Yes. Yeah, our riverfront has definitely become much more popular. A lot of families just going for a walk, or even, couples. It is great.
Yeah. Fingers crossed that when normality comes back, that these good habits will continue. So
Yes, please do.
Helen, thank you so much for today and sharing. I feel like you have so much more to give, and maybe we can steal you for a round 2 or something in the future. But your story is so inspiring and very motivating. You make it seem so effortless. So thank you so much for sharing everything. And we look forward to seeing you help the million of people you aim to.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys. This has been so much fun.
thank you. And we'll be sure to share your contact details in the show notes.
No worries. All right. I'll talk to you guys soon.
Thanks.
And that's a wrap. I hope you enjoyed that show, team. I will be bringing you a beautiful hack next week for the Start Your Day Right show, and I will be sure to share any other interviews that I have been doing on other podcast shows here so that you can also get to know me a little bit better. Until next week. Thank you times infinity for spending time with me. It really means a lot. Putting yourself first will really help escalate your goals, your dreams, and I love being on the journey with you. So make sure you come and tell me on my Instagram at Whole Health, which is HOL_health, and comment below this podcast photo to share your thoughts on my show today. And if you enjoyed it, please leave me a 5-star review on iTunes or Spotify so that I can keep bringing amazing value to you. I'm sending you truckloads of love, power, and joy. Bye for now.